Hello everyone, I'm Fidelis Noga II. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Alkalign Lifestyle Institute for Quantum Healing, and I am here to share with you today how your relationship is killing your success. Now, this is a hot topic at the moment, but I would like to say it's an old topic because it's about energy, not just in terms of relationship, it's solely about energy. And this is how I'm going to express this to you. Based upon consciousness, if you can understand constructive interference and destructive interference, this will change your entire life. Because all you're going to do is, from now on, be intentional about going towards growth. Now, this is the case where a Harvard study found that 99% of your success, 99, I'll say it again, 99% of your success is predicated upon your reference group. What is a reference group? You have a reference set, okay? A reference set is the people whom you are around, the knowledge that you know. People who are around have knowledge and they share it with you, okay? And so your reference group is the people around you that you can refer to, that reference group. You also have a preference set or a preference group, okay? Those are the people whom you prefer or who you desire to be a part of, who you desire to be aligned with. So what you do is, in order to change your reference group, you align yourself with your preference group. So a Harvard study found that 99% of your success is tied to the reference group that you are entangled with. Meaning, the 5 people that you are around. Why is 5 such a powerful number? Because 5 is essentially 5 fingers. We have 5 fingers, we have 5 toes, we have 5 essential outward limbs. You can count head, you can count your 2 arms, you can count your 2 legs and feet, or just simple legs or feet. So feet, hands, head, 5. 5 is the sacred geometry number essentially for life. That's why you see the 5-sided pentagon is what you would deem as creation. So 5 is an important number. So the 5 people whom you are around the most are going to draw in your success or are going to take you away from it, based upon your intentionality of picking the right people to be around. So let me explain this to you in a way that says you're accountable for it. So as I just said, you have a preference set, you have a reference set, but you pick this. You're the one that picks this, okay? But you pick it based on subconscious programming. You subconsciously gravitate towards the people whom you've been programmed to be around. So if you grew up with strugglers your entire life, you're going to navigate your way throughout your entire life to people who struggle. You're going to find your way towards people who are like that. You won't find your way towards people who have an abundant mindset. You'll find people who have the complete opposite because they're focused on struggle. So your reference set will be predicated upon those who are struggling. That's how it's going to work for you, which if that's what you want, you're going to continue struggling your entire life because that's technically what you want subconsciously. Now, if you grow up in a successful household, a household that has love, that has community feeling, that has a feeling of value, that has a feeling of self-worth, and they give you confidence and they give you these encouraging words of experimentation. They let you go to be free. They let you figure things out, right? If you grew up in a household where you were allowed to experiment and fail a couple times, because failure isn't bad, it's just experimentation. If you stop trying to do something, then you failed. You just stopped doing it. If you keep going, you keep on making the attempt at doing it, meaning you keep on shooting, you keep on pressing go, you keep on starting, you keep on showing up. Eventually you're going to get the thing. But that's if you were taught to do that. If you weren't taught to do that, as soon as it does not go your way, you talk yourself out of it and you stop and you don't show up the next day. So let me tell you just how powerful knowing that is. Because if you've always had, say, a bad friendship, a bad relationship, a bad way of listening to instruction, a bad way of behavior, essentially a bad attitude, right? If you always had a bad attitude, you've been around people who've also had that bad attitude. It was internal, and they passed it along to you. And so you basically just grew up with the program where you developed a bad attitude. And you were allowed to have that bad attitude, and you were not redirected into a positive mental attitude because you just weren't. So now that you're an adult, you basically have a reactionary way of being. You basically have ways of seeking value from the outside. You have this commitment to go towards the outside to claim whom you are from the inside. You don't claim who you are from the inside. You skip this process. You'd rather let the outside tell you who you are. And so, in the ways of partnership based upon entanglement, if you do not pick successful people to be around as your reference set, there's all 99%, and I'm just saying, it's a big number, it's a 1% chance that you're gonna figure it out on your own. I'm not saying that you can't do it, because it's 1%. I'm just saying, it's 1%. 99% says you're gonna go this way, 1% says you're gonna go this way. That's it. That's all it is. So, what you should do is you should look at yourself, and you should say, all right, based upon my relationships, am I growing or am I'm gonna say growth, or I'm gonna say shrinking? Are you growing or are you shrinking? Is my brain growing? Is my knowledge growing? Is my bank account growing? Is my business growing? Is my relationships, like friends, partnerships, is this growing? Is it growing or is it shrinking? What's going on? I'm just gonna be honest. I gotta look at my partnership, I gotta look at my friendships, I gotta look at my bank account. I have to be 100% clear as day, honest with myself, and say, okay, am I shrinking or am I growing? Am I growing at the pace that I'm supposed to be? Am I doing these things at the pace that I'm supposed to be? Am I actually going, am I running as fast as I can? Am I doing the best job I possibly can in life? Am I actually showing up with urgency every day? Am I actually going through the process and being who I said I'm supposed to be? So, I believe there's 3 types of relationships. And what happens is, in these 3 types of relationships, they're all successful. I'll tell you about the one that's unsuccessful at the end of this. But these 3 are successful. And I actually watched a video by the Hermoses. It was Layla Hermosi. She's the CEO of the acquisition.com. She was talking about her successful relationships, the ones that she's seen, and I've seen pretty much the same ones. And I thought about, and I said, you know what? I'll make a video too. And what happened was, when I thought about it in terms of my experiences, being a college basketball strength and conditioning coach and men's basketball assistant coach and being a professional athlete and just pursuing things out of the ordinary that people would not pursue. Being an entrepreneur, being a CEO, opening up my own businesses, just having a different philosophy and mindset towards medicine and health that other people have, standing on my own 2 feet, essentially. Having my own belief in myself, right? It's shown me a different way. And so what I first figured out was that there's a captain relationship. You can call it captain, you can call it like mentor, you can call it like quarterback, you can call it conductor, whatever you want to call it, like symphony leader, whatever it is. But you are captains. What you are doing is every time you go forward in life, they go forward in life. So you and your partner, man or woman, both of you are going towards the sky. You are going as high as you possibly can, climbing top of the mountain. And you're going, they're going. When you research, they research. When you learn, they learn. When you grow, they grow. When you train your body, when you do your fitness, they train their body, they do their fitness. You train together. You speak together. You may podcast together. You may research together. You may go to do development together. You may go to different things to learn. You may go to networking groups or events. You may just be seen out in public, or you may be seen where you do things in terms of harmony. It's harmony. I'm not saying it's always, roses and it's always great, but I'm saying that there's a mutual level of respect where you don't have to tolerate disrespect from either person. You just tell the truth. And it's done with love because it's honest. The person's honest. They're here for your growth. So both of y'all, as you move forward, you have an accountability partner in both of you. And many people seem to shy away from this relationship because it may be a little bit draining if you don't understand that love is created, that you have to send love to receive love. You have to give the love so that you can get it back. But the love comes off of the basis of respect. So the basis of respect first comes from respecting yourself, meaning I have to respect myself. My partner, who's also a captain, has to respect herself. And so as we both respect ourselves, we both have self-discipline. We both can parent ourselves. We both are self-reliant on ourselves. And then we bring that together, where it's 100% and 100%, and then we go 200%. It's like having a constructive interference wave. I bring my waves, she brings her waves, and then our waves multiply. Our waves multiply. They literally go from this big to this big. All right? That's what happens. We have more energy. We just have more energy together. We are infinitely better together than we are by ourselves. That's the difference whenever you have a captain relationship. So aside from that, if you can find someone, because you basically went to that part in your head and said, I'm going to become that. Once you say, I'm going to become that, you'll attract people who are also in resonance with that behavior that you're expressing from yourself. That's the first relationship. Captains, both of y'all going up. When you win, they win. When they win, you win. Number one fans are yourself, but here's the number two fan, which is the second relationship. The number two fan pushes you from behind. They don't actively participate in what you're doing. They're not actively helping you build yourself or your billionaire project, or they're telling you you're the best in the universe. You're the greatest. You're the most amazing I've ever seen in my lifetime. You're always gonna do special things. You hear Kanye West talk about his mom all the time. I think his mom's name is Donda, I think. He talks about his mom in a way of, she was a number two fan. Kanye was a number one fan, but she was his number two fan. And essentially what she did was she encouraged him so much that he could not lose, that he didn't lose. That's how it works. So you have a number two fan, like a fan, sitting in a stance whenever you're performing or whenever you're playing or whenever you're training or whatever you're doing, showcasing your skill set. And they're clapping for you the entire time. Unwavering faith that they have in you, that they believe that you're going to be successful no matter what you do, no matter what you partake in, you are going to win. They know, hands down, you're going to win. And they always, kind of like a puppy dog does, they just celebrate you whenever you walk in the door. They celebrate you whenever you walk out the door. They celebrate you wherever you at, whatever you're doing, because they're your number two fan. That's the relationship that you have in terms of somebody who pushes you from behind. They're literally pushing you towards, I know you can do it. Go for it, I know you can do it. I know who you really are. You may not know, but I know who you really are. I see it within you. I feel it within you. Go for it. Don't stop yourself. Don't stop yourself. They'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you the truth. But they'll tell you the truth like, I don't know why you're not trying to do it. I don't know why you're not trying to go towards those dreams. You can do everything you want. It's an indirect way of saying, you're capable of that. I don't know why you're selling yourself so short, because last time I checked, there's nobody better than you. Yeah, that's a number two fan. You want them people on your team no matter what. Number two fan. Number three, lift man / woman. Lift man or woman. What's a lift man? You know how you watch these old movies and they have the elevator butler, essentially, that's taking you up in the lift cart, in the elevator? This person is basically the elevator operator. When you go to an old school luxury hotel, They're the person that says, let me take your bags for you. And they put it in here and then they just say, okay, we're going up. And when you take your bags for you, oh, we're going down. That's the lift man, lift woman. It's neutral. They don't really do anything. They're just there. And they have support, but they don't harm anything. They're not gonna put you down, they're not gonna bring you down, they're not gonna put down any negativity inside of your adventure. They won't deviate you from your pathway. And this is also energetically. So they don't drain you. There's no destructive interference at any of these points in these relationships. But here's the one that is the one that drains you. This is the one that I'm actually have been in. I've only been in pretty much the other ones I've actually been in to be able to experience it. And many of it is you try to go to a big place, you have big dream, small mind. You have a big dream. You want to go somewhere that's big. You want to go somewhere that's powerful. You want to go somewhere that's impactful, that will serve so many people. You want to change so many lives, or change the world in some way, shape, or form. But the person who you are attached to has a small mind. So all they do is plant seeds of doubt. All they do is tell you why this can't work. All they do is make you not do that thing, but do this thing. They make you not feel expansive. They make you feel suppressed. They make you feel like if you ask for too much, you're gonna get in trouble. If you overstep the boundary, there's gonna be consequences. And so every time that you want to do that thing that came to you, you just don't do it. Because, yeah, you just got the person across from you. And they're just not any of those three. There's no captain, no number two fan, and there's also no lift man or woman. But that's mainly because they have no respect and no love. When I mean respect, I mean self-respect and I mean self-love. If you have no self-respect, first of all, you don't look at yourself with any value. And so if you don't look at yourself with any value, how can you have self-love? If you don't respect something, how can you love it? It's pretty much impossible. You think about it. If I don't respect my body, I'll drink, I'll smoke, I'll beat myself up, I'll overtrain, I'll overeat, I'll undersleep. I'll do all these things to sabotage my own health and wellness so I won't feel good. And then I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna start crying tears of sadness and shame and guilt because I don't love myself. That's what happens. It's not that you don't love yourself, it's that you don't respect yourself. If you have some respect for yourself, some respect for your time, you'd say no a lot more. Some respect for your boundaries, you'd say no a lot more. Some respect for your mental health and well-being, you'd say no a lot more. You wouldn't go places that don't serve you because you know they don't serve you already. You wouldn't give yourself away so easily. Sexually, you wouldn't give yourself away at all unless you understood that this would be empowering for you. Physically, emotionally, you wouldn't give yourself away. Time-wise, you wouldn't give yourself away. You don't get it back. So you start to look at yourself and you start to say, what is my value? I respect myself, like 100%. So all of a sudden your value goes from what someone on the outside told you your value was to what you on the inside claimed your value was. I had these relationships, I had many of them. And many times when I would attempt to say, you know what, it's okay for me to leave this relationship, it's almost like I'd be called out. And I just started to look at myself like, well, maybe I am a coward. And maybe I should stay in it. Maybe I should stay in the fire for longer. And then I was like, no, I don't want to stay in the fire. I don't want to stay in this fire. This fire isn't going towards the finish line. It's not going towards the finish line in the way that I'm seeing the finish line. I don't want to go towards this finish line with this person anymore. What happens is they drain your energy, destructive interference. They drain your confidence, and they make you worse because they make you weak. So the person that tells you it's okay for you to, to sleep in, it's okay for you to skip this, it's okay for you to skip that, it's okay for you to not parent yourself. When somebody tells you it's okay for you not to parent yourself, now you just become the opposite of self-reliant. Now you've just lost the capacity to love. How can you get a form of community feeling, a form of community value, meaning being valued in your own community, meaning be able to serve somebody else, if you don't have any reliance on your actual self? I'm not talking about economically. I'm not talking about even in a case of emotionally. I'm talking about literally, I choose my way whenever I get up in the morning. I choose my purpose every morning I get up. I'm on purpose with a purpose in my mind, and I'm going towards it. I'm on purpose with a purpose. So you're not going to see me going places, deviating, or stopping myself with these detours, or giving myself distractions, because I'm on purpose with a purpose. I'm moving towards something. I'm self-reliant. I know my impact. I know who I am. Why am I doing this? You all of a sudden start to shift your perspective on who you really are. And all of a sudden, because you do that for yourself, okay? You're doing it for yourself. No one's doing it for you. You begin to look at your entanglement. Everyone around you takes a part with you. Everyone that you've gone through the process of being around, they've taken something from you, they've deposited something into you. If you don't look at it as you were the one that was giving that out, and then it came back to you in a mirror perspective. If you got bad partnerships, look at what you're putting out. If you got bad business partnerships, if you got bad business deals, bad transactions, anything that's bad, if someone's playing you, frauding you, lying to you, look at yourself. Because the truth does set you free. That's the only thing I can tell you from a Bible perspective, that I actually believe that the Bible says that the truth will set you free. That's only because I believe that if you go against your consciousness, you go against what the heart is expressing within you, you're lying. You shouldn't do it. You're living an egoic lifestyle. You're not living the Creator. You're not living through the Creator within you. So, essentially, if you and your partner don't share the same vision, it's because you have a big dream, they have a small mind. So, what do? You leave. Because if you don't leave, you're gonna hurt them. You're gonna hurt them. Yeah, it's your fault. You're gonna hurt them. You know that you should be gone. Because if you're pulling somebody to the clouds and they can't be there, they can't breathe in those clouds. They can't bring themselves to that altitude to be comfortable, to be calm, to be in harmony at the altitude that you're going. And you're forcing that upon somebody. Now it's your fault. So what I'm saying is, your growth can trigger your partner's insecurities, meaning your physical growth, your physical transformation, your emotional transformation, your spiritual transformation, your sexual transformation. It can trigger all your partner's insecurities if they aren't a captain with you and they aren't going with you, or if they aren't your number two fan pushing you towards it. Because usually when you have a number two fan and they push you towards it, you're also indirectly pushing them as well. They're just not actively doing the same thing, but you're doing your very best. And even if you're a lift man or a woman, lift man or lift woman for your partner, you're in a neutral place, but you're still in a place where you're not harming that process of growth by expressing your own insecurity. You're secure. So once you get to a place where you're secure, you don't care. You have the courage to be disliked by anybody. You have the courage to be happy. You have the courage to choose positivity every moment of time, point, and space. You never, ever choose anything aside from growth, positivity, something that's beneficial. You don't do it. I just began to learn that that's how people don't take responsibility for it. They have their own insecurities. And so literally what they do is they express them out towards somebody else. But this is the thing. You can express them out. Every now and then things can come out. Every now and then you may have eruptions. I get it. I understand. Everybody has moments. Right. That's what people say. But is that really right? It's like every now and then you get in a car accident. Every now and then you punch somebody in the face whenever you get angry. I don't think that's actually a thing. I don't think it's uncontrollable. I think people just don't actually go to control it. I think what happens is people just say that so they can mask what they were supposed to do for themselves. You could have controlled that. You could have made a decision not to do that. You could have made a choice not to say that. You could have made a choice to be honest when you were asked a question. You could have made the choice to be authentic when someone came to you. You could have made that choice. You made the choice not to do it. And so then in response, you get something in response that is a reflection directly of what you just put out. I'm telling you, you've got to always look at it in terms of self-reliance. If I'm self-reliant and I know I have an effect on this, what effect am I attempting to have? What's the end goal? That's where I started to look at this, where I understood that the person I chose to share my life with, my life partner, they can be my greatest asset. They can be like my Swiss Army knife. Anything that I need. If I forget something, they're in an instant. If I need a book, if I need to learn some new knowledge, they are providing it to me. If I need some new knowledge or new idea, bam, they're providing it for me. If I need a new skill set or anything, they're providing it for me. I learned that my greatest asset can be my partnership, or my greatest liability can be my partnership. Because every time I come home, internally they have a problem. They wear a mask. So they say all the right things, but they feel awful because they didn't do something. They always feel shameful. They always feel guilty because they didn't put enough work in, because they're not actually going to the rate that they actually can go. They're not actually giving it their best shot, or they see you giving it your best shot, and they feel some type of way about it. Maybe it's not where they're looking at you like you're a villain, but are they envious? Maybe so. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they're in competition mode. But you don't want anybody to compete with you. You want somebody to be on your team. Let me understand this. Last thing. This is what I'm going to draw. It's called the vesica. This is one person, they're a circle. This is another person, they're a circle. This right here is the love. And it's shared love. That's the shared love. That's a vesica. That sacred geometry symbol literally means that you have this expanding circle of waves that's expressing itself out from the point in the center, a second point in the center expressing itself out, and they overlap with each other. So now half of me is entangled with half of somebody else. Let me tell you, this is gonna come out, I guarantee within this year or next year, you'll see the research studies coming out, that a person can transfer their negative emotion to the person they're directly entangled with. A person can transfer their diseased gut, or their unbalanced microbiome, or their unbalanced hormone to their partner. A person can balance their unbalanced mind. A person can transfer their unbalanced mind, their unbalanced heart, their incoherence. A person can transfer the incoherence from oneself to the partner they're entangled with. You can literally cause the chaos in somebody else. Now, upon that being said, can you also cause the harmony? Yes. You ever had a relationship where the person whom you met, maybe they were a smoker, maybe they were a drinker, maybe they were an addict of some kind, maybe they were a person who was unaccountable, they cried, they were just helpless, learned helpless, they didn't know how to do anything, they didn't take on any adventure, they didn't do anything for themselves, they were not self-reliant, they were a person who was waiting for any and everything to be given to them. They never took the initiative, they never took accountability, they never were transparent, they never were honest, they never were vulnerable. And you transfer all those qualities into someone else. Yeah, it works both ways based on what you're putting out. Now, once your job is done, once your season is over with, once your season is done and your season is over with, you look at this from this perspective. When your season is done and your season is over with, you have to make sure that at the end of the day, the finish line is what keeps you aligned. The finish line, the vision. Nothing is worth sacrificing your dreams for anyone. Nothing. So what I'm going to tell you is what happens to people is they basically have competing tasks. They're sharing tasks, life tasks. But you're supposed to have your own life task. This comes from the concept of Adlerian psychology. If you've read the book, The Courage to be Disliked or The Courage to be Happy, actually both of those books talk about Adlerian psychology. And what the philosopher in the book is expressing is everyone has their own life tasks. And you cannot impede on someone else's life tasks. This is probably the essential thing that you're going to learn is once you begin to overstep and you begin to speak for somebody and somebody starts to ask you, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Why in the hell would you ask me what do I think you should do? I don't know. Nothing's coming to your radio to tell you what to do. You should probably do that. Don't ask me. Don't ask anybody. Once you do that, you give away your power. You don't even know who you really are. You've left yourself, the love for yourself, and now you've given that power away to somebody else. Now, if you are being mentored, if you're being guided, if you're being instructed willingly, meaning you went and you asked for that instruction because you desired to level up, that means that you're ready to receive that information. That's a different story. That's saying, I am here, teach me how to become like you, and put my stamp on it. That's a different level of being. When that person can come to you with an open mind and an open heart and say, whatever you are going to give me, I'm ready to receive it. That's a different level of being. That's a person that's ready to receive the next level and climb the ladder and go up the next step. But if you and your partner are misaligned, you actively are sabotaging each other's goals. You're killing each other's drive. You're killing each other's vision. And you don't even know that. You're not trying to do it on purpose. Some people are trying to do it on purpose. I'm not going to discredit that. But for the most part, if you're a genuine human being, you're not attempting to do it on purpose. I had partners who just wanted to hang out and be in the cave and just have a calm lifestyle and, just, okay, go to work, come back, enjoy themselves. That's it. They didn't desire to make an impact. They didn't desire to teach a philosophy. They didn't desire to change the world in that capacity. They just desired to be a part of it and enjoy themselves in it. And I can respect that. I can respect that. They didn't want to be in a city place. They didn't want to be around a lot of energy. They couldn't contain themselves. They couldn't focus. They couldn't maintain the level of coherence that they needed in order to do a good job. They couldn't do it at the time. Do I believe you can do anything? Yes, I do believe you can do anything. I believe that the only lie and the only curse word in this entire universe is can't. Because if you believe you can, then you can. If you believe you can't, then you can't. So rather than I curse myself, I should bless myself by saying I can, instead of cursing myself by saying I can't. So if you and your partner are misaligned, this person wants to live solely on a farm and have quiet, calm experiences and essentially be soft and be cuddle all the time and feel great and just chase comfort and seek comfort. That person just wants to enjoy their time here. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But then maybe you're a person that's a driving force. You want to wake up in the morning, you want to trade or be a day trader, or be an investor, or be a real estate investor, or be a developer, or be a coach, or be a trainer, or be a billionaire, be a multimillionaire, own properties, make impact, have employees, whatever you want to do. Maybe you're a person on this side. Maybe you have a go-getter mindset, and this person has a I got it mindset. You have a go-getter mindset, this person has an I got it mindset. I got it, I'm good. I got enough, I'm all right. This person has a go-getter mindset. I can do more though. Like, what if I can change this? Or what if I can change something else? Or what if I can... And this person has a, hey, I'm good. I'm just gonna enjoy it. And watch the sunrise and things like that. What's wrong with that? Nothing. It's just that these two people can't be together because they're misaligned. So what happens then is your efforts are gonna be sabotaged. They're literally gonna be dismantled. They're gonna dissolve because you will have priorities that say, I have to go get this done. I have to go late night. I gotta go get this workout in. I have to stay up at nighttime so I can finish researching this thing. I have to go to keep on editing my videos or my content. And this person says, it's late. Do you have to do that? It's too bright. I need to go to sleep. It's too loud. I'm too uncomfortable. They'll make everything seem like it's an attack on them. But all you're doing is what you've been instructed to do, which is be your best self, no matter what. You live every day like it's your last day. You live with a sense of urgency that's different than your partner. So who's wrong? Neither of you are wrong. That's the thing. But you're wrong for each other. That's what you have to respect and appreciate about becoming aware and becoming enlightened. You can't force anybody to do anything. Don't try it, don't do it. You can't force nobody to respect you. You can't force anybody to love you. You'll see the people in a relationship now, they talk about how you have a sexless marriage, right? A sexless relationship. Well, you can't have any sexual potency or orgasmic potency if your female partner does not respect your male partner. If your male partner does not necessarily respect your female partner, tendencies, they tend to attempt to provide them with what's missing. But in most cases, the female partner, if they do not have a level of respect or admiration for their male counterpart, you won't see any intimacy in a relationship. That's going to be something that's missing. When that's missing, there goes your direct connection to actual intimacy and connection. That stops. So what I'm expressing is that you can't have a level of respect without an aligned vision and a shared vision. So because of this leads to several things. You can have divorce, you can have, I would say, traumatic experiences, you can have people call it traumatic experiences, but what I'm saying is you made the goal to be disharmony. You made the goal disharmony. If you made the goal harmony, you'd find a way to achieve harmony. If you made the goal disharmony, to say, I gotta get what I want, I'm going this direction, I'm going this way, this is what I'm doing. And you don't make it a goal to say, we're going this way, we're doing this thing. Both of our energies are aligned to this thing. It's not, I'm sacrificing, like say I'm working to help you build something. That's not us actively doing it together. I'm sacrificing my time and my energy to provide for this thing. And I'm gonna eventually resent you because I did that. I had that relationship. When I was going to go play, I was focused so much on going to the NBA. I didn't have much help. Financially, I didn't have much help. I was basically borrowing, and I was basically building my own agency for myself based on my own skill set, my own training. And I found friends to help me, and my partner helped me at the time. But she ultimately resented me for doing that. She wasn't part of the vision. When I told her about the vision, she didn't believe it. She didn't have the belief in the vision. So that created a level of resentment. And ultimately, would I have done it again? I wouldn't have done it with her. I would have found someone else that was okay, that wouldn't have got harmed in the process, that wouldn't have harmed himself in the process. I'm truly grateful for everything that was provided. I'm truly grateful for all the effort that was given. I'm truly grateful for everything, for everyone that helped me to even see another day in my journey. But I never wanted to make people feel like they were expendable. That's not how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, I have all this help. I'm going to cross the finish line. You guys can have everything that y'all have helped me with and then some. I'm just here to impact people, and I'm just here to show people what they're capable of. And I'm here to be an example for, this is what happens when you never quit. That was it. That was all that was going through my head. It wasn't about just, you going to have fast cars and a lot of money, but it wasn't about any of that. It was just, I'm going to go to the top, to the highest level. I'm going to tell people that you can do this no matter what, no matter where you start. You can figure out how to get to a level that you desire. You can figure it out. You got to put the work in, you got to pay the price. And that's essentially what I was going for. I was not going for resentment, but that's what I got indirectly. Because I had to stay late, because I had to travel, because I had to be all over the country, because I had to be places for months at a time to go train here, try out here, work out here, because I had to go do these things, I wasn't able to just be Monday to Sunday at home and hang out with my partner. I wasn't there to do that. So what I believe is you need to tell the truth. It'll set you free. And you need to understand that your dreams are the key. Do not stop yourself, ever. Do not ever stop yourself from being the biggest version of yourself, because you'll live with that regret. And you'll live with that regret because you basically sabotaged your own success for somebody else. And this is how the energy works. If you have a big dream, your energy is this expansive. You're this radiant light on one side. And then you went with this dimming light that was dim. You know how they say opposites attract? Yeah. So that's what they say. It's truly like attracts like. So if I'm like something, I'm going to resonate that thing outwardly into the space. I'm going to attract that thing back to me. I don't know about opposites attract. You can say positive and negative. And you can say that you must go up in order to come down. You must come down in order to go up. But mind you, a person is negative on the inside and positive on the outside. Electron emission on the inside, photonic emission on the outside. That's called the human battery. So the human battery literally is filled with a cathode, an anode, and electrolytes in the center. That's how a human battery works, just like an alkaline battery. That's why our institute is called the Alkalign Institute. Once you align those 7 chakras and you become alkaline on your pH, still hydrogen, you all of a sudden create this electrified energy, and then you become a magnet. So now your magnet is going to attract to you a like frequency. That's what happens. You don't see billionaires in prisons because they don't have that mindset. You don't see hockey players on a basketball court. They don't have that mindset. It's like attracts like. And there it goes back to your reference set and then your preference set. Just like the Harvard study, 99% of your success comes from your reference set. Your reference set is going to be like-minded people. Now you need to be a person that figures out that the main person that you choose in your romantic life partnership is going to be the main asset or the main liability in your life based on constructive interference or destructive interference. They can 10x, infinitely multiply your presence, infinitely multiply your energy. Whatever it is, they can multiply it, or they can drain it, and they can take it away. So be conscious of this. Next time you decide to go out to the bar or a library or the coffee shop or whatever, you see somebody attractive and you go up to them to go meet them, make sure that you ask these specific questions. What are your dreams? What are your goals? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your mission in life? What's your purpose in life? How do you want to be known in your life? And I think most importantly, what impact do you want to make in your life? Ask some questions. Just ask. But don't forget to ask them, are you running from anything? Because they may tell you, or they may not, because they may not even know themselves. If they're running from something, you may want to let them figure that out first, and then go back to them. Yeah. If you found anything useful in this video, like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and for rocking with me. If you guys need some one-on-one help or some support, quickly in my profile. You guys check out my descriptions below and sign up for a call, send me a DM. Other than that, see you in the next video.